Hi there, Jane. Well, we've been dominated, haven't we, by rain and wind over the last couple of days. We're starting to see side effects of that now with some localised flooding, and rainfall totals are starting to tot up. Over the last couple of days, the emphasis has been away from the southwest where we had the flooding over to the northwest. Just take a look at this. Honister Pass, 193 millimetres of rain in the Lake District. North Wales, 133 millimetres. And that rain is fairly widespread out to the west. So top temperatures expected again into the high teens. Now, as we go through to the weekend, an area of high pressure is set to build and keep things relatively quiet. So we start off on Saturday with some sunshine around. It's not going to last. More wet and windy weather returns to the northwest from Sunday onwards.
Hello there, good afternoon. Well, it's already very windy out there, but this afternoon there'll be some heavy rain heading our way too. But it was a dry, a bright and a very mild start to this morning. Some morning sunshine as captured by our weather watcher here in Putney. It's not set to last. Skies darkening from the west with that cloud thickening all the while.
That's good. Time for the weather now. Sally is here, as we can see. And we've got another weather warning, haven't we?
Oh, we have. It's grim out there.
Yeah.
Do you know, this morning I woke up and thought, I know it's going to rain, but I almost can't believe it. And I can't be bothered to bring my coat, my umbrella, and I was like, do it.
But you do the weather.
I know, I have got it, because now it's gone horrible. We've got a warning in place that's already started through to about 3 o'clock in the morning, because there could be a bit of localised flooding, and rush hour is not particularly pleasant at the moment. In fact, we've got some pictures here of Whitechapel. Oh, that looks grim.
Very.
I mean, thank goodness we had September, hey? Thank goodness we had that. It's also getting autumnal. We're getting about 4 extra minutes or less minutes of daylight a day, which is about half an hour a week.
Oh, no.
So this time next week, it's going to be considerably darker than it is now. Anyway.
That's a bit depressing. Let's talk about happier things. Yesterday, you achieved your Mission Impossible, as set for you by Tom Cruise. Let's just remind people at home. Let's get a look of you there. There you are, on top of the London Eye. Unbelievable. Big question we want to know the answer to. Has he been in touch with you? Has Tom congratulated you yet?
Obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I've had text messages. He's been on the phone. We've organised dinner. We're talking about whether I'm going to be in the next movie. No.
Oh.
Nothing. Nada. So come on, Tom, pick up the phone. I'm waiting.
He's got to be watching.
Well, it's all right. I'm very busy. I'm very, very busy. Loads of weather. Here we go. Let's take a look. Well, it's that time of year already. Apple crumbles and cider. Look at all those. The weather, however, not particularly pleasant tonight. We've got some heavy rain still to come and the winds are strong. But as we head into tomorrow and Thursday, a bit more in the way of sunshine. A few showers, though, still hanging around.
Layla Nathu, BBC News, Stevenage.
Now, this is the first time I've seen blue sky here in Plymouth all day. Torrential rain, high winds for most of it. Chris Fawkes can give us the weather. It's been pretty bad for a lot of people, hasn't it?
Yeah, Sophie, you're exactly right. It has been a wet and a windy day pretty widely. This was one of the spots that had some of the strongest winds. Capel Curragh, where we started off with gusts of wind reaching 70 miles an hour this morning. Reports of 1 or 2 trees coming down in Wales. It's also been very wet, 133 millimetres of rain in the last 36 hours, a big chunk of the average September rainfall, and so far this month they've actually had 226 millimetres, so it's already been wetter than average. We've got another week and a half stats of rainfall still to come.
Let's see if it's drying up anytime soon. Chris Fawkes is here with a check on the weather. You've got a smile listening to that, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, what a character. We all knew that lined in with the Italian Job. It was there, wasn't it? Amazing film. But yeah, do you know, I've been looking at some of our stats here in the southeast of England, and I think so far this September, temperatures have been 4 degrees Celsius above average. And OK, those temperatures have come down a little bit closer to average. However, I think this is probably going to work out to be one of the warmest Septembers we've ever seen. So we'll just have to see how the rest of the month plays out, but certainly well above average so far. Now, today it all started so well, didn't it? Plenty of sunshine around, a bit of cloud in the sky, but it's bucketing down at the moment, isn't it? Now, I do have some better news for you as we look into the forecast for the first part, at least, of the weekend. We'll get a proper ridge of high pressure just moving across the southeast. And what that will do is it'll make our weather drier. There'll be more sunshine around on Saturday. Sunday's not looking bad at all as well. But then there's a question mark. We might see high pressure build in next week. That could bring a spell of warmer weather, but still a bit of uncertainty about that just at the moment, Riz.
Hello there. Despite some heat early on in the month, it's been pretty wet and windy just recently, and the rivers are now starting to look pretty ferocious. In fact, Capel Curig has seen significant amount of rainfall in the last few days. Just take a look at this. This is our September rainfall total so far, 226 millimetres, and I suspect we could be threatening the record before this month is through with 366. Shap as well seeing 202 millimetres of rainfall in the last few days.
It's been another day of pretty, well, horrible, wet and windy weather for much of the country, and Alex is here, and it's set to continue, is that right?
Yes, unfortunately, it doesn't look like things are going to get much better as we head through the next few days. But it certainly has been a pretty wet 36 hours. Let's take a quick look at some of our rainfall totals. Actually, this was up to 4 o'clock this afternoon. I suspect there's a few millimetres here and there. But essentially, Honested Pass has been the wettest place, 152 millimetres. Now, that's around half a month's worth of rainfall for that area. But it is in Cumbria, and for many parts of Cumbria, in fact, they have seen more than a month's worth of rainfall. You can see other places across the UK also pretty wet today as well. As I say, this will get topped up as we head through the next few days. This was the scene a little earlier in Preston. Believe it or not, conditions are starting to ease there. But the focus now is across the southeast of England. This was East London just a couple of hours ago. Not a pretty commute home for many people in this area at the moment, but this is part of a warning which is across much of the southeast at the moment, and that is going to stay in force until 3 o'clock this morning, or into tomorrow morning rather. We could see maybe 30 to 40 millimetres falling in around 2 or 3 hours. That could be impactful, so of course we'll keep a watchful eye on the conditions developing there. So pretty wet conditions across the southeast at the moment. It's also going to get a little bit colder as we head through the next couple of days as well. On the AMS chart, you can see the cooler conditions starting to push in from the north. That will make for some rather chilly nights to come as we head through the latter part of this week in particular. Perhaps a frost here or there. And then as we head into this coming weekend, it stays unsettled. As I say, the remnants of ex-Hurricane Nigel expected to hit over the weekend, bringing more outbreaks of rain and possibly more warnings. Well, that's the way it is looking this evening. I wish I had better news that it is going to get better. But in fact, actually, maybe into next week, there's signs that it could be a touch more settled. But we're a long way off yet.
Oh, we'll have to settle for that for the moment. Alex, thank you.